started making names right away. And I loved it. I was robbing drug dealers and taking their gold right off their neck. And the shit we did, who's going to call the police on you? A drug dealer?
I can identify with anything that was normal, to be honest with you. But I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
99% of the time, you're going to disappear.
Just like the Donnie Brasco situation with Lefty?
Yeah, because the reason why, they figure it this way. You brought this guy around, he ratted on everybody, now he ratted on you. You might turn around and join him and rat on us, so we get rid of you, there's no connection between there and there, and they get rid of you.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jenae. What's up, Jenae?
Hi, my brother.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. I miss you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'll be up there soon. Yeah,
I
no
had
problem.
breakfast this morning and I thought about you.
Before we get started, yeah.
Oh, God.
Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. We're going to get into Jenae's story. So you want to tell the people where you were born and raised?
All right. I was born in Boston, Beth Israel. I was raised in Revere, Mass. That place is crazy. And
what was your early life like in Revere?
all right, so I grew up like the concrete jungle, Little Italy, around just the Italian part of Revere. And my grandparents raised me, my grandmother. That was great. I can't complain. I had a great upbringing. It was a little bit challenging, but my mother wasn't around. She left when I was a very young kid. So she left my father with 3 kids to take care of. So my grandmother stepped in and other people did, and it took a village, and it was okay, and it was all right. My father was a little cranky sometimes, but he provided, and he did what he needed to do, and he did the best he could. So he's actually very sick with cancer right now. So yeah, he's not gonna make it. But
damn.
Yeah.
That's sad. Sorry you're going through that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Terrible.
Yeah, he's
Happy Memorial Day. Snap out all that.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
I want to talk about some of your past because you've been through a lot of stuff, and you've been through the ringer. Like, people out there don't even know the type of stuff that you've been through, and you're still pushing, you're still positive, and you're still trying to move along, do the right thing. Do you want to explain to the people what we're talking about? Maybe give them a little context to the story, and maybe you can explain one of these situations that you dealt with recently. I know you explained it to me on a video that we did, but I haven't put it out yet because I'm working on something else. But I want to be able to get your story out there so people know.
So can I say names, or am I not at liberty? I just want to.
I mean, you can. It's up to you. It's up to you. That part's up to you.
That's fine by me. Then I'm very happy about that one. All right. Well, so it all.
Let's start it off. Your relationship. You met a guy, right?
Yes. Okay. So I met a guy that I had already met previously, but I was just not there yet, and he just chased me for years, and I finally said yeah to him, and we hung out and we spent time together, and we were inseparable for 6 years.
How old? Around how old were you?
I was about 24 when we started to date, and then it ended abruptly at 29.
How old was he?
He's the same. No, he's a year younger. He's a year younger than me.
But he has a different background than you.
Oh, are we talking about the guy
Right?
that tried to murder me, or the politician?
No, the other one. The other one.
Which,
Politician guy.
the what?
The
The
politician guy.
Okay.
The politician guy. Yeah.
All right. So I met him. He's a politician for the city. He was a politician for the city. I met him March 6, 2020, the first day of like lockdown. No. It wasn't March 6th. It was April 1st of 2020. It was the first day of lockdown. I had to be rushed into a rooming house in which he was living next door to me. He greeted me at the door, and I automatically knew who he was because I grew up in Revere, and he was like a long-standing politician. And he I was like, all right, that's weird. Like, I mean, I was kind of like, it was weird. So we got locked down together, and I'm like this awkward fuck of a person. I'm kind of like a little clumsy, like, I don't know, like, I'm not, very conventional, and like, I don't know, but he took to me, and he was immediately obsessed with me and loved me, putting masks on my doorknob, like he was just like he just took to me, and he was very interesting and very, very strong. He was very I kind of admired his he just would not take no for an answer with dating me. Like, he was.
What was he, a council? You say he was a council member or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
At large. Yep. Until the day he died. He
Do you want to explain to the people what ended up happening?
Yeah, so we had a strange connection, but it was very, very deep and very strong and very good when it wanted to be. And then, anyways, we had a beautiful, perfect child. She's going to be 2 in July. And he passed away the morning of September 11th. We had woken up that morning.
Was he into drugs? Like before this?
He had several. He had a spine surgery and a back surgery, very serious ones, and he needed Percocet. But finally, the doctors cut him off, and he was in pain still. So he started buying them off the streets and all that. And the morning of September 11th, I knew he had picked up some pills, and I didn't think anything of it. And he took the first one, and he goes, "I'm really feeling this one." I go, "Okay, then don't take another one, please." Like, so an hour goes by. He goes, I'm hungry. This is 6:30 in the morning, mind you. I go, "I'm hungry. Can you take me to get something to eat?" He goes, "Yes, give me a few minutes. I got to take a shit. I'm going to go to the bathroom, whatever. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to go take a shit." Word for word. Goes into the bathroom. I go into the other room. I'm waiting about like 10, 15 minutes time frame. And I'm like, I'm really hungry. So I'm like banging on the bathroom door. I'm like, "Come on, let's go." And the faucet's on, and he's not responding. And I'm like, this is weird. I open the door, and he's just laying there, and he has a purple friggin' cell phone charger on his left forearm as a tourniquet. And he's laying there, turning blue, stiff, like this. I had no idea he was shooting up. I will tell you that. It comes to find out it was a full press fentanyl pill. It killed him instantly. I immediately grabbed my phone, put 911 on speaker, and I started to work on him. He was a nurse too, so he taught me CPR. So I was performing it on him. I had practiced it on him. So I was just working on him until the paramedics got there. It was awful.
So you're panicking at this time, but you don't, at this moment, you don't really know that he's involved with any kind of drugs or anything like that, right?
I knew immediately when I saw the
keep
tourniquet.
telling the story.
Yeah, no, I knew he had shot up the perk. I just knew it. I knew it. He hid it from me. I couldn't find any Narcan. At that point, I knew I didn't have Narcan because I didn't do heroin and he didn't do heroin, and we just didn't have Narcan. I just didn't have time to look for it either. I just felt like I needed to be on and breathing, like, and just, doing the sternum rub. I was doing it, and he actually did a breath, like it was like this deep, the gurgle. And I thought, like, I was on the I was saying to the paramedics, I go, "Oh, I got him. And then, like, nothing. And then I go, "No, damn it." It literally, it was his death gurgle. So this was like 3 minutes, because they knew who it was when the 911 call came. So the firefighters got there quick, and they responded quick. They ripped me off of him and started to, like, dose him with Narcan. I mean, they put about 7 Narcans up in him. Didn't work. They cut his chest open right there and started to do a heart massage rub. It was very, very horrible. And he was dead. He died. And I was in the other room while he was dying. And I didn't know.
I'm sorry for your loss that you have to go through that. I'm sorry you have to go through that. It's terrible.
Oh my God. It's a lot.
A lot of people in this country are going through the same type of thing because of this drug epidemic that's going on out there. I just went to Kensington, Philadelphia, and it's insane. There are like zombies walking around everywhere with people with their arms rotting off. And people are doing drugs right in front of the police, and no one cares about their life.
The xylazine, it's like the cat tranquilizer now. It's 60 times as potent as fentanyl, I heard, or something crazy. It's crazy. It's awful. It's killed our generation, man. It's killed our generation. It's taken our friends. It
still is.
The father, my child's father, that he loved her. And, it doesn't discriminate. It can happen to someone who's homeless, and it can happen to someone who's a very, very, prestigious type of politician. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just hold so much guilt. I gotta let this out. I hold so much guilt that I could not save him. I just can't. I'm trying. I can't get over it. I'm struggling deep with it because Bella lost her daddy. And
we got a special guest that wants to say hi to you, Jenae.
Who's
Go
that?
ahead, man.
Hi.
We love you. Sorry I couldn't be there to support you. I know you're doing great. I've been watching. I'm on the road with Eddie. Say hi, Eddie. Hi.
Shout out to Eddie and Paulie. Can you hear him? No, she froze up. Damn, she froze.
The screen froze?
Yeah, the screen froze.
Wow. You having Wi-Fi troubles, or?
Nah, I don't know. Maybe she's having Wi-Fi trouble. You want to say anything to the people out there, man?
Yep. I don't know. I guess me and Jenae are probably doing a show with Staxx if he invites both of us on.
Yeah, of course.
Like couples therapy.
How have you been up there in Boston, man? How's things been?
Oh, it's been rough. It's like in City Hall, basically, right? Yeah, you know the way it is. Someone's always doing something. But, when you coming back up and visit, stay for a couple of days. You're missing all the good barbecues.
Yeah, I'll be up there soon, man.
Yeah, I miss you, my brother. Seriously, Eddie asks me all the time. I ask for you. It's just been crazy. We don't even have time to stop.
Yeah, I got a lot of good things. I got a lot of good things planned. And I got some people I gotta see up in Boston soon. So I'll be up there soon.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Yeah, excellent. Hey, no, I'm waiting. Even just hanging out with you. I miss hanging out with you. We gotta get Anthony with us too.
Yeah.
Farrakano.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Anthony Farrakano. Shout out to all my Boston guys, all my North End guys. And shit, hit the link later if you're around, man. Tell Jenae to hit the link again. All right?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Call me later if you want. I'll talk to you. She's doing good. I'm proud of her. Thank you, Staxx.
Thank you, man. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, later. So that was Paul Tanzo himself. We lost Jenae on the link. So hopefully she'll click it again. And oh, she's back right here.
Sorry.
What's up? Can you hear me?
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry I lost you guys.
All right, so
I hung up on my guy.
it's all
Is he
good.
still on the phone?
So no, he hung up. So the situation that you dealt with before, do you want to go through that?
Okay, so it'll all start. Okay, so I started to date a gentleman named Eric Woods, and we had the same group of friends or whatever, and he wanted to date me for a long time. And I finally kind of like was like, okay, this guy's really, really like persistent. So it's kind of impressive. So I said yes. I actually liked him. He was all right. So we ended up being together for 6 years. But through those 6 years, he was a total drunk. He started to increasingly beat me over and over again. And it got bad. And I decided I wanted to leave one late night. And he said, "You're not leaving." And he proceeded to, all right, keep in mind, he's about 6 feet tall, 320 pounds, huge dude. And I'm like 5 feet on a good day. He shoves me. He goes, "You're not leaving." He shoves me. I fall back. I hit my head on the radiator, like on the ground, like in the you know the radiator heaters that are on the like on the lining of the floor, like the bottom walls. But it was like that. I hit my head.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, shit, I'm in for it. I just knew. He blacked out. He was in a psychosis. He had 20 shots of, it was, oh my God, it was Smirnoff. It was 20 nips of Smirnoff, blueberry Smirnoff. That was his drinks, and he drank 2 sleeves.
Yeah,
in
he
under
like
2
just
hours.
snapped. I've seen the pictures.
He snapped. I fell back.
I've seen
and
the
he
pictures.
started
There,
stretching.
he like, oh my God. I'm gonna
I
put the
couldn't even-
pictures on the community
Yep.
tab after this show is done, and people can check them out for themselves.
So
I might have to blur them out though.
I couldn't even catch up to what just happened. He grabs me by the hood of my hoodie and is like just dragging me by the neck, and I just remember it. And like he just tried to get me out of the bedroom window that he had just pushed me up against. He tried to mush my face through the screen and throw me out of the fucking 3rd story window, but it wouldn't work. So he was frustrated by that. So he dragged me by the neck all the way to the living room window, where he got me into a hog-tied position with his arms, put me upside down like Houdini, and dangled me. And I'm looking down at my death, 30 feet in the air, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So
He hung you off the porch?
He's angling me, like torturing me. He pulls me up. He brings me back on the couch where it was laying against the window of the living room, and he starts to strangle me. And I'm telling you, strangle me. I went out. Like, I remember dying. So I died. I remember literally floating sideways in the darkness, feeling like, oh, it's all over. It's finally over. You're okay. Like, it's over. Like this relief. And then all of a sudden, I came back. I'm back too. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I totally forgot what was happening. He was still strangling me. I lived. Like, he
And it's
strangled
still
me.
going on
And
when you wake up.
wherever I was going sent me the fuck back. And so he was getting really angry that he was not gonna do it. He was not killing me. So I remember bleeding, and he dragged me to the toilet, and he started to bang my head against the toilet, and I was spitting blood into the toilet, and I'm just like, stop, man. Like, God, fuck, this is so tiring. It was just endless. He was like playing with me.
Did
like
the neighbors call or anybody?
There was no one in the apartment. The guy Jed downstairs was vacationing in the Cape, where he had his Cape home. His uncle, who lived with us, was at Encore that night. It was just me, Eric, and the cat. And he just kept like ragdolling me like a cat and mouse. I can't explain it, but like he was just like, it was so weird, like he was possessed. And he brought me back to the couch. So this was like fucking 3 hours worth of, like, I don't remember what was happening because of the time frames of how I escaped. So this is like hour 3 into the attack. And he brought me back to the couch and he strangles me out again. But this time he has me, he's on top of me. And he goes to bite the left side of my face. And I go, this motherfucker is not going to disfigure me. Okay, he was going to take a chunk. I know he was. So I just stuck my fucking fingers in his eye socket.
You just had the Boston accent on that one.
Dude,
you're like, this
he
motherfucker.
got the fucking fingers in the fucking eye.
You're like,
I did it. He fucking goes, oh, he did. Listen, that's the last time I saw him besides a court date. So I don't know what the fuck happened to that guy's eye, but I know I had to done something to like him over, like. But he was upset still, so he was walking.
Is that like the last thing that you got to do before you?
No.
Broke away from him, just gouged him in the eye.
He got his rifle. He shooed me into the back room. It was a rifle pellet gun, but that thing could shoot. That thing could shoot through sheet metal. We were always shooting that thing. Like, it was brutal. He just had it just standing there. He goes, "You're not going anywhere." I was like, "This sucks, man." Like, I was like, "Wow, God." I go, I'm gonna have to really wait this one out because I know how he drinks and passes out eventually. So I had to wait until he gave up and just walked away. And like, he just went into the room like nothing happened and went to bed. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm out of here. I don't know how I lived, but I was like limping down the street. I luckily lived right down the street from the police station. I ran into the police station. I'm like, oh God, I'm not a cop caller, but this guy, he really fucking did it. So there's an exception there. Go get him, please. This fucking psychopath. He just traumatized my ass.
And what he used to do this to you a lot?
No, he never did it like that. Like he'd hit me. There was one time where he fucking kidney kicked me. That was the worst thing I've ever. Oh, he kidney kicked me on the floor. Oh, with his work boot on, I couldn't lay down.
Hey, if there's a girl out there that's watching this, who's dealing with a guy who's abusing her, if there's a girl out there who's watching this who's dealing with a guy that's abusing her, what is your advice to that girl?
Oh my God, I waited too long to leave. Oh, I waited too long to leave. I don't know what I was doing. And I know she feels that way, whoever they are. Like, I made my first chicken noodle soup. I tried it. And this motherfucker just wanted to be a cunt one day and put rounds of bullets in my boiling soup. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Anyways, leave, please. You'll be heartbroken for a little while. You'll get over it. I promise you. And if I could, I wish I could tell you what that happening was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's not. I wish sometimes, like,
I know you've been through a lot of stuff, but you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It's the perseverance and getting through things during tough times rather than just skating through life. being able to get through all the tough things and being stronger because of it.
Well, I was
That's
never
what makes
bitter
you a
when
strong
things
person.
happened to me. I
you know?
always was okay. I was still loving to people. I actually, I still managed to just be happy, or like just like get like to still, I don't know. It just nothing has ever made me bitter, and it should have, and it should. Right now, it should. Um, so yeah, that happened. He got arrested on felony assault and battery, attempted murder, assault and battery on a household family member, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, um, strangulation, suffocation. I think it was like a crime to like to commit like something, I don't know.
Like conspiracy
so
or
I had to
something.
leave that apartment, and this was the beginning of COVID, mind you. This attack happened March 6, 2020, and COVID lockdown was due to happen um, like the end of March. So I had to go in before the 1st of April. I was all like still all fucked up. I had concussions. I still had, I came into I moved myself into this random rooming house just to get in somewhere, to get away from the apartment with him. I moved into on Beach Street. And I had a trash bag and my cat, and I'm all fucked up. I'm like, just not right. And I go to the door, and I'm greeted by George, the politician. And he found me, and he was good to me. He was a little strange, a little odd, but he like kind of nursed me back to life. And we were on lockdown together, and like he really did like help me. And like I was so fucked up and traumatized that like I didn't really take him like seriously. I kind of had a little mental breakdown. I was abandoned by my family when that happened. Instead of taking me home and supporting me and letting me heal, I had to go alone into a rooming house to be alone with my cat. And George was my family there. And my family was like, I don't know why. Like I still don't understand why they left me. They still left like my immediate family, like my brothers, my father. I don't know. That's kind of gut wrenching. So I was left to deal with that. So George took care of me, and I would laugh at him. I would joke. I wouldn't take him seriously. He fell in love with me. He was so good to me, and I was like, no.
Did you had no clue? You had no clue about him with the drugs?
No. No. He never had a drug problem. I mean, he was okay. He drank a little bit, and I know he took his prescription medications. He had a very bad back injury. He wasn't fucked up. He had he was so yeah he was a little weird in other ways. He was very highly intelligent.
Have you
Spoke
noticed
7 languages fluently.
have you noticed a big difference in Revere, like the surrounding community with the drugs and things like that, with the people around the neighborhood?
I knew it before, starting in 2013, when my best friend, my sister, died. She was found dead August 23rd, 2013. This was the year before I met that man, Eric Woods, who I was with for 6 years. I lost my sister, and that's what kicked all of this bullshit off. Like, it affected me. She was my everything. We were raised together. Her mother raised me as a child and took the form of a mother. So we were raised together as sisters. And she died, and we were only 2 years apart. And she was found dead in her car. She had just found heroin, and she was 30 days clean, and she decided to use, and she died. And a man walking his dog found her dead in the morning. And I just was never the same. I loved her. Her name was Taylor, but we had a nickname, Bella, for her growing up. And you know, going forward, when I met George,
Yeah,
all of that happened.
Revere, Massachusetts, man.
Yeah, no, so
It's
yeah,
the
me
only
and
revere
George,
there
like I
is,
said-
right? Shit.
What?
I said that's the only revere there is. Massachusetts, I believe.
What? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm poor.
Nothing.
And
Never
I don't
mind.
have a good cell phone right now.
I'm talking to the people who are commenting, who are talking.
Oh, okay. Hi guys. No
They're
hate
talking
comments.
about
I'm really,
Revere,
I have anxiety.
Massachusetts. There is no
Yes.
hate comments. You're
Yeah.
good. So, what has it been like to try to get your life together and
Oh my god. So I
to,
had Bella with George.
yeah, what's it been
George
like?
got me pregnant, and I got very sick in my pregnancy. I had a genetic disease that my grandmother had in the liver, and I had to be hospitalized for 2 months at 5 months pregnant. And I was in the hospital for 2 months, and they had to take her out of my stomach cesarean at 7 months premature. I had already named her Bella after my best friend's nickname, and I had her, and she was perfect. She was the biggest preemie born. Like, she was a big Bella burrito, they called her in the NICU. The happiest day of my life. I actually realized when I had her that I survived all that shit for her. And that's what made me, I fucking forgive Eric. I believe in God all of a sudden. Oh my God, everything is right. I had my soulmate. It's such this weird connection with my child. I just had her. And she was, she's the greatest miracle I've ever had. She's the reason why I lived through that attack. So we had her. She was in the hospital for 2 months afterwards.
People that do that to women are scumbags. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm?
I said guys that do that to women are scumbags. You shouldn't ever have to deal with that type of shit.
So I brought Bella home with George, and everything was great, and it was perfect. And then he started to abuse Percocets more, and drinking more, and acting a little odd, more and more. And I just was so obsessed with the baby. I didn't even, I just was consumed with her, and I was happy with that. He kind of said I was hogging her. I did. I mean, I don't know. There was a disconnect, and he started to act out and use more pills and act out and be a little weird. And he got a little aggressive. He didn't get abusive. It was sort of like weird, but like
people get like that on when they do opiates. They get all like real.
He was a cop caller.
Like you said, like they get aggressive and shit. Real like snappy. Like they snap on people easy.
So what happened? We had a confrontation, and we were fighting. And I told him to just stop. He was just being terrible. So I threw a bag of biscottis at him. I know it was the most fucking Italian thing I've ever said. I threw a bag of biscottis at him, and he called the cops on me. And he goes to the 911 dispatch, help, she's hitting me. Meanwhile, I'm saying, no, I'm not. I'm in the other room. I'm not even in the same room as him. I'm not hitting him. So the cops came, and that's when DCF got involved. And they forced me to get a restraining order on him, or else they would take the baby. So I had no choice. I'm like, y'all out. Restraining order put in place, went right to court. I mean, and I just did what I had to do.
Paul C, what's up, bro?
He got really, really revengeful and spiteful on that, and he kept calling the cops and doing well-being checks and doing false allegations and bullshit. And I was doing so great with this child. I was so happy. Oh my God, I was so happy. Finally, I had a reason. I was doing something right. He kept calling the fucking cops on me, and it got DCF so far up my ass on the radar. They came in January 19th of 2022 at 9:00 p.m. with no warning, with 2 cops, and they ripped her out of my arms. in under 5 minutes time.
And if you try to do anything, they just arrest you, right?
Yep. There was nothing I could do. So I like wrapped my arm and my legs around one of the DCF workers' legs like a little baby monkey. And I'm like, please don't take my fucking child. Like, everything is fine. They go, no, we're taking the baby. She was like shaking me off. She was like, get out of there. Like a fucking like, okay. Like, all right, well, man, if there's a purge, I'm going to her. And
what did they have? All they had was a piece of paper, right? They had a piece of paper, like an order saying.
They said I was in danger because he kept violating the restraining order and calling the cops and acting reckless. And they kept saying, he kept claiming I was doing drugs. I was not doing drugs. Okay, I started to begin to take my friend's, what's it called, Ritalin. And I didn't have a prescription for it. That might be wrong to people,
drugs.
and it was. And I should have had a prescription for it. But I was just a tired mom. I was happy. I was not overwhelmed. And I just wanted to be a little bit more focused. And like, it just helped me. I was always on that medication for like 10 years and I just didn't have a script. So I started to take it.
Yeah, but that's where the problem starts. You know what I'm saying?
They popped the drug test on me.
You understand where the problem is with that now, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, because listen to this. So when they ripped her out of my arms, please keep in mind, like, this broke me very deeply and caused a lot of problems that I have still to this day. I'm not okay. Like, living without my child is so gut-wrenching that I can, my doctors think that I have heartbreak syndrome and I have suffered heart attacks. I am going to see my primary care and I'm getting an echocardiogram and I'm getting an EKG and I'm suffering some deep chest pains from this. So instead of getting my shit together, I went with the trauma when they took her. And I began to smoke meth and just self-medicate and go in this fucking awful. I was just so distraught without her. It's almost like I had to do it. Like I had to, or I had to numb it. And I just went on this crazy, I was smoking meth just every fucking day. And I lost track of time. And like 6 months went by and me and George reconnected. And like we wanted to reconnect. We were getting better. I don't know. Being without the baby, he realized what the fuck he did. He got the baby ripped out of my arms and we needed to get her back. So we were working on it. And he was doing better than I was, like he was. And we started couples therapy, all this shit. And I couldn't get with it, but he was like, and then he said he was taking Percocet though. I don't know. Right when we were on our way to get her back, he died.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the situations you have dealt with since you started smoking meth?
Oh, I became homeless. I didn't go home.
Yeah, keep it real. Keep it real with me.
Oh, I left the fucking apartment.
What kind of crazy shit have you seen from these crazy people out there in the street?
Man. Okay, so first of all, I went with a friend that was already homeless, and
keep it PG though. Keep it PG. Try.
No, this is fine. We built a hut in the behind the Walmart. With pallets, insulation, tarp, and we made like this little home hut. In like
you can tell she's from Mass. She goes Walmart.
We had a generator. Mind you, this is in January, dead of fucking winter, so fucking cold, man. And we had a generator with a space heater. We just made it our home. I was in a fugue state of drug use, and I just couldn't go back. to the apartment to where my daughter was taken. Like I just couldn't. I was in so much grief. Like it was just so. I was so tortured by the separation of her that it's like literally. I feel like it sometimes is killing me, and we'll get to all of that. But yeah, no, the hut, man, that was crazy. My friend would have these. Oh God,
How many
we had
how
a
many
space heater.
people are out there homeless using
Oh my God,
drugs out on the street in Boston?
a lot of people are starting to get help in my area and getting taken off the streets too and stabilized in housing situations, which I'm so grateful for. But there still are people out there, and I love them so much. I love everyone in my homeless community. They're all my friends. They're all my equals. They're all my pals. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're doing drugs or you're sober. I don't care who you are. You are better than nobody. You're not better. You're not better than anyone. I love everybody. I just choose to stay away. But I will. I don't know.
I stay far away from people. I
It was
mean,
very, very
yeah,
traumatic.
I
It's a
do.
very
I
traumatic
go around
situation in
people
the winter.
who are using. I
We
think
had
we
a
got a
space
lag
heater though,
connection.
Staxx, in the
Huge
hut,
one. I can hear.
and it was so
Yeah.
cold. I fell asleep on the space heater. I lit myself on fire. I was woken up being put out by a bunch of fucking like I think it was like flour or something. People were throwing flour on me. I woke up. I'm like, oh shit. So they put me out. It was so cold.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
it gets
that's
crazy.
crazy. Like how many people out there want to be walking to a little shack in the woods to go freeze your ass off?
Listen,
Nobody
it's a gay
wants
man's
to
hookup
do that for
woods.
Christmas. Like
It's a woods for homosexuals to go have sex, and I didn't know that. And I was bundled up in the winter and dressed, and I look like a little boy when I'm dressed up and bundled up. And I had this one guy
yeah,
like
you can
chasing me
have all
through the
that
woods,
shit.
like he's like little boy. He's like trying to like get me. I'm like no. I was like get away from me. I'm like ah. It was so awful.
I got it.
That
There's
happened
an
a lot.
echo
We'd
because
wake
she
up.
doesn't have headphones on.
We'd wake up to creeps like doing weird shit. Like it was very strange, and like everyone, a lot of people were mistook me for a little boy all the time. It was so creepy. I, I don't know. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't know. The
no,
things you
you
do
have to
stay
stay
warm.
away from that shit. That shit is
Yeah. Oh
terrible.
my
You
God.
hear me?
Oh,
You have to
I
stay
survived.
away
I
from
became
that
like
shit.
Bear Grylls,
If I ever
though.
catch you doing that, I will beat your
Shit, I gotta
ass.
get back. Can you hear me now?
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
If I ever hear you did that shit, I will beat your ass.
You know, I wish I had people like you back then to help me. I didn't. I didn't have people. I was alone and lost, and all I had like was my daughter, and my that was my promise. That was my future, and I couldn't get it together in time, and that's my fault
Yeah,
on my
but
part. I
sometimes
never
people
recovered from
just
it.
need hope and they need a little kick in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I didn't get that. No, DCF didn't even offer me help. Like I wanted my child. I didn't have a home. By that time, I didn't have anywhere to live at that point. Like I just left the apartment. George went back to the apartment, and we couldn't like be together in DCF's eyes. So like I was out there.
How long has it been since you have been off drugs?
Okay, so it's been wow, I think about 40 something days.
Well, listen, it's a start, and
Well, I
you
had to
gotta
go
keep it
through
pushing.
some.
You gotta
I had to be
keep
forced
it.
to stop. First of all, I got arrested with Paul Tanzo.
Look, there's
fucking
people
asshole,
in
did a
this
fucking
chat.
illegal U-turn.
There's people in this chat that
I love
believe
my
in you.
Paulie.
I said there's people in this chat that are watching this show right now that believe in you, and they know you can do it.
Thank you. I just want life with my child, but Anyways.
Dom
So,
says you have to stay away
this
from the
is how I
same
met
old
Paul, by the way,
same.
guys.
Dennis says you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. It's the Twinkie diet. Okay. Anyways, no. So this is how I met Paul. Eddie Patella messages me on Facebook and he goes, "Hey, I know what you're going through. I lost my daughter to heroin, to fentanyl. I have a place for you
Shout
to
out
live. I
to
see your
Eddie.
post.
Eddie's
You're
a
homeless.
great
You're
guy.
scared." I love him. I love him. I love him so much. I love you, Eddie. He saved my life. He ripped me off of the streets. I was then, after George died, I sought refuge in a abandoned van. And it was in November at this time. After September, I was in there until November, and he ripped me off the streets, brought me to this house right here to be met by Paul. And,
You don't tell everyone your whole situation, Jenae.
No, it's all right. It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah, no, it's okay. But no, they saved my life, and Paul and Eddie saved my life. And
but listen,
they
Jenae,
saved my life.
you gotta save your life. No one else
Oh,
is
yeah,
gonna
no.
save your life. You know
I
what
know.
you gotta do.
They got me warm, and they fed me, and they made me feel like a human again, to be able to think straight enough to take care of myself, to love myself, to instill the
I understand that,
humanity
but
in
you gotta
myself.
keep pushing. You gotta continue from that moment on. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put yourself first. You gotta start caring about yourself. You gotta
Oh,
start.
absolutely.
There's a lot of people in this chat right here that
I've been very alone
are
actually
rooting you
before
on.
this. I isolated. I was alone, all alone, and they saved me. They became my family, and I am a big pain in their ass, and I am very, very traumatized from all of this, and I continued to use until I got arrested almost what is it, 40 something days ago. I got arrested April 420, and I got arrested on 4 warrants that I didn't really know about. I knew about one, but I didn't know about the others. It was stupid. And I got held no bail, and they took my meth pipe out of my bag and they threw it away. And I looked at that meth pipe and I go, I'm done. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I was done. I couldn't stop any other way. I couldn't. I had to be forced with cuffs.
You
and
gotta
shackles.
stop. You gotta. You have to.
That was
I'm
my
gonna bring
divine
you on
intervention.
here for an update so people.
So I went to jail for
You
the
hear
first
me?
time. That was fun.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me when I'm talking?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
low. Like,
So,
I have the worst Obama phone.
It's echoing.
Ugh, that sucks.
Yeah. So listen,
sucks.
I'm gonna bring you back on here so people can see your
wait, hold on. I
progress
can switch.
and
My
they can
phone's on
see
again.
how
Wait,
far you've come.
Hold on.
But you know what you need to do?
Don't hang up. I'm gonna switch phones. I have another phone that's on now.
Yo, I don't got time for you to switch phones. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
Go to a women's AA meeting and find some strong women that you can gravitate around. That's my advice to you.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
I swear to God, if you think there's something you can't get through, or you aren't, or you feel that you don't deserve, or you feel like if your gut is telling you to do something, you have to do it if it's good. And don't wait. Don't waste time. I fucked up and waited, and it fucked up my life. And I waited too long to stop the drugs. But I'm still alive, and now
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It's not too late. You know what I'm saying? Dennis says the company you keep, and he is definitely right about that. Dom says hopefully she can get away from that area. It has to be the same shit, same result.
Listen, I want to help people. That's all I want to do.
Dennis says, practice what you preach. You don't need to help anyone. Help yourself first, and then you go help other people. Just help yourself.
Yeah. Right when I met you, I thought you were the coolest person in the world, and I thought that like you were like that cool kid in school, sort of. And then you just treated me like a human. You were a little cranky, but you really put me in my place because when I met you, I was using still.
I wasn't the cool kid in school. I was the kid getting fucking picked on and shit. You know?
I don't give a fuck. I think you're the coolest. Hey, we miss you a lot, and we want you to come back and see us. Like I said, the pool's open.
Definitely. I'm going to come back up there and see you guys.
Pool's open,
and
dude.
Listen, I'm going to bring you back on here for an update. I'm going to bring you back on for an update, and a lot of these people want to see you do good.
I love you guys.
And you better have some good news for them next time you come on.
I love you, Uncle. Uncle Billy Staxx, Brother Staxx, Mama Staxx, you everybody. I love you.
Yo, you guys are all great. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and happy Memorial Day weekend. Make sure you guys have a safe weekend. Stay away from the
I love you
people who are out there drinking and driving. Paul, what's up, man? Dennis, all you guys, Dom, I appreciate all of you. Cindy.
Hi to my first baby daddy, Paul. Hi to all my friends watching. I love you guys.
Shout out to Paul Tanzo. Shout out to Kimmy.
And Paulie Tanzo, my crazy little awkward penguin.
And
okay,
rest in peace to Lenny. Very sad situation.
I'm sorry?
Maureen, shout out to you.
I love you guys. Thank you for
all right, man, I'm out. See you guys later, man.
All right, come visit us, dude.
Keep doing the right thing.
I will.
Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop.
Do it.
And remember, don't be a bitch.
Night, night. Keep your butthole tight.